to get it started. So but I was doing that on our other fields. I basically moved all the clover up here because we harvest it 2 to 3 times a year, and so it's helpful having it close to the yard. Arable crops, we're only harvesting them once a year, so I don't really mind the fact that I have to travel halfway across the map to harvest all of my sunflowers, because all of the fields with sunflowers are in the same place, and so we go out there with our sunflower harvesting kit and just sit in 2-3 adjacent fields, and it's not a big deal. But I mean, part of the problem was I had a couple of fields up here with clover. Field 5's got clover, and then fields all the way over here had clover in, and it's just sort of nice. It's too far to travel and get the job done. Oh, this field is also. Oh, this is good. I guess we can swing around, see if there's any bits that could be adjusted. But this is a little bit too high. There we go. So sort of the light sandy coloured bits need a little more. Grief, come on. Need a little bit more nitrogen, but sort of the dark sandy bits don't. That's not a problem. Oh, use. Okay, engage. Not enough there that needs it. But yeah, we can certainly improve this part of the field, I guess. And then the other side of the field needs some work. So surprisingly, not a lot of nitrogen needed here. And part of the problem with these fields has been they contained grass. So I think I cut them one time, which adds a bit of nitrogen to the field. Then I ploughed them in, which adds a whole lot more nitrogen to the field. And then I didn't do anything else to them. Because obviously once you planted clover, it's not going to allow you to spread more nitrogen on the field. When I had clover down in sort of field 25 area and what have you, that was a big mistake, because as I said, I ploughed in, I put digestate on. I can't remember if I planted oilseed radish and then I planted clover, and then I realised, oh, this field is completely screwed up, and I can't. The only way to recover it is to keep harvesting it until the nitrogen levels drop. But I did manage to, when I switched those fields to arable, obviously their nitrogen levels dropped very, very quickly to where they needed to be. But anyway, this field is done. Good. And I actually have more liquid fertilizer than I thought I would have, because we didn't have to do all of the fields. Let's see if I can sweep that bottom corner. Not sure if it's going to work though. Whee! Oh, just about. Okay, so I don't think. Oh, yeah, I don't think any more of these patches are doable. Maybe that little V shape I'm driving towards. I should probably turn that off so we drive faster. This bit maybe, but yeah, that worked. Turn that off, fold that up. I guess I'll keep this hitched up just in case 5 is in a similar situation. Although I don't think it's gonna tell me anymore. But we've done all of the things, so the next job is getting the baler. I think that's the only thing I haven't done on the stream today, is to bale. Didn't do much grass cutting because that was a worker. Could do that. So I'll take this out the front. Park this over here. Gonna check the sheep. I think they're all wild and woolly. Yeah, sheep look fine for now. And sadly with balers we're going to have to drive this through the gate. Round balers you can drive through hedges. Square balers have bales in the back of them, and so they generally have an issue with driving through hedges. On an Oxygen David map with his bales can't drive through hedges script. Where? Fence, wall, dry stone wall, oops. Yeah, I think the baler is also another thing I have from the Platinum Pack that I'm actually using. As I said, this tractor, no, it's a CMT software done by Smetty. And we use this tractor in Farm Sim 17 on Lawfolds. I kind of liked it, so frequently I will use equipment I know about. It's not available in 22 yet. I don't know if there's any plans for it to get to 22, but the 800 is. So we may just end up using an 800. Oh, I was going to... Well, let's wait till we turn round, because there's the possibility I could jump out beyond the edge of the field and it won't tell me anything. Oops. Okay, now we can jump out and see what it tells us. Oh, it does tell us the pH is okay, the nitrogen is good. Now I think this field has been treated far more recently than those top fields. But since we seem to, everything's a little bit short of nitrogen and a little bit short of pH, I will keep the lime spreader out and just do this field anyway. It doesn't hurt, and obviously if we do it early it will be less stuff used to bring it up to normal. the longer you leave it, the more product you need to use to bring it back. But, right now, this field is close to adequate. But since we've got everything loaded, we might as well just do that. This time. Yeah, this tractor, you can see, definitely needs a clean, and I think we started out clean. So this is just a trip around a few fields, baling. How's the gas? Gas is fine. We have enough fuel. I think this tractor gets dirtiest the quickest of all of them. Pretty sure the Challenger is fairly okay. Although, yeah, they're driving all over the field because they're doing all the stuff. JCB's not too bad because it's picking out the bales, so it doesn't have to drive a long distance, it just has to drive between points. And obviously the sprayers and the spreaders have a bigger working width, so again, not as much driving on dirt. Anyway, okay. I should probably do alternate rows here. They're just a little bit too close for this tractor to make the turn. And I'm not going to do the outside track until the end because we are going to have some bits from these rows that got missed. Do I not have all of my mirrors turned on? I thought I had 7 mirrors, so we should have 7 reflective surfaces possible before one of them switches out. But I noticed that middle mirror is flickering at times. Missing some of that. So yeah, definitely drawing to the end of this series. We're going to have, it's going to be interesting. I'm going to try, I will keep going until we've fully baled this field so we get a count on bales. We got 126 from the top fields, in spite of their bad pH and nitrogen levels. But I think this field is on a par with that for the most part. Yeah, we definitely got some missed rows and some missed cut bits, but mower's not here now. No idea how good that's turning out. Well, it seems, for the most part, not too bad. But we are making a grass bale right now, not clover. But it's not an issue, it's all getting wrapped, it's all getting sold at the BGA, and they don't have any cares about whether it's clover or grass silage. I am missing a whole ton of clover and grass though here. Okay, that's enough in cab driving. Yeah, we missed a bit there. Yeah, it's all kind of messy, but we're getting most of it. Oh, a strip of clover there didn't get cut. I think that was me manually doing this. I know I set that off on a worker, but I didn't zero the track, so we missed a bit. Taking a wider path round there does mean we get the entire row. Well, most of it. Drive into the trees since that's what the worker did. And the pickup on this baler is not the greatest, at least in my opinion. Seems to have some issues. Grab some of these while we're here. And this bit here. Oh, can't see what I'm doing. Again, this is probably going to end up with grass somewhere along the way. That bit, and I think we'll call that good enough for now and start going across the field again. Okay, still need to tidy up around that island. How are we doing? 72 so far. And possibly missing bits there. Ah, too wide. We're 76 to this point. We could end up with about 130 by the end. But I think we're set. Oh, crud. That's the edge of the field, so yay for that. I'm definitely looking forward to moving on to Farm Sim 22 now and exploring that a little bit more thoroughly than I have been. I think this series, with this series, is we're now at easy point in the series. There's nothing we can do to not make money. Lots of money. Sheep bought in about 300,000 last year or this year, just from sheep sales and wool sales. Silage is a constant income. Normally there's one cut for hay and silage for sheep, and then 2 cuts for sale, and that's worth 300,000. And then the crop sales is crazy amounts of income. And we just bought the second biggest field on the map last fall, so that's going to add to the income for the coming year. That's going to be interesting to see how much sunflower seeds we get out of that. I think as soon as we're done with the baling, we'll check the count and then call it a day. I'll get the wrapping and transporting done during the week, and next week I'm hoping we'll be at a point where we can do some sunflower harvesting, or maybe even sugar beet harvesting. The sugar beets will be going straight in the grain bins because, hey, grain bin extenders allow you to do that. I'm not sure I'll actually need to save much more than the full harvest, because I think we've got about 50,000 litres of sugar beets in the grain bins right now. Sugar beets, 40,000. Yeah, I kept those just in case the crates ran out, because we were chomping through the crates at about 1 per day during winter and spring, when lambing season and shearing season. But since summer started, we've really dropped sugar beet usage to very low levels. So it's not the 50 crates I made last fall are going to last us, I think, until the next harvest. So I'll probably leave about 60,000 in the silos and sell all of the rest. Because And normally I'd crate them up, but as I said, you know, the series ends in January, or notionally March, since that's what Farm Sim 22 seems to call the beginning of the year. So because of that, we'll just be looking at just doing the bare minimum to get us through the end of the year, sell off crops, and wind up the series. And I don't want to be hassled with loading up crates of sugar beets. We'll just say, theoretically, that's what we're going to be doing. And we're not doing potatoes this year. Sold all of the potato harvesting equipment. We use that. It's a struggle to use. It's really designed for the multiplayer setup. Now, it is realistic equipment. I've seen YouTube videos using the they're kind of harvesters, although they're really more like just digging potatoes out of the ground and dropping them on the floor equipment, rather than all the collecting that normal harvesters seem to do. Ooh, too far. But it was fun using them. It's a shame they didn't transition over to Farm Sim 22, since they were the last DLC for 19? Close to the last DLC for 19. Rodney was the last. And I didn't bother with that because I really don't do enough heavy logging to warrant spending the money on that expansion. But I did get that, so I did want to use it and see how it worked. Oh, it's kind of good. I mean, it works on very small